Hi, everyone. Welcome to the CEO Speaker Series. I'm Caden Vitterini, the CEO and founder of VitFactor, your host. And today we're joined by Pedro, who is the CEO of Remote Team Solutions, a leading nearshore staffing firm that helps US and Canadian companies build high-performing remote teams out of Mexico. With a background spanning staffing IT, food manufacturing, Pedro also serves as a board member of Como Foods and advisor for NAFIDSA. He's an active member of the Forbes Business Council and a contributor to the Entrepreneur Leadership Network, regularly sharing insights on leadership, talent strategy, and business growth. This series is all about asking leaders what they wish they were new when they were in college. Let's dive right into it. So, Pedro, let's start with your path from student to CEO. Tell us a little bit about your path, maybe your first job, major career decisions, and leadership milestones.
Well, when I was finishing my studies, getting my mom and dad are really different in that my mom wanted me to go and work for, let's say, one of the big four, Microsoft, one of those companies. My dad is more on the entrepreneurial side. He had his business. So just for my mom's sake, I went to interviews. Told me, here I went to interviews. I passed the interviews, but I'm gonna go and start my own business. And I started an IT business. At the same time, I went to the family business with my dad. With my dad, he was of the mind that you gotta start from the bottom. So I was the executive assistant of a sales manager, and at the same time, I was starting my business, which was a ERP, a cloud ERP in Mexico. There were none ERP clouds; there were only really expensive ones. So we started our business focusing on small to medium clients that could not have their own ERP and their own servers.
Mhm. And so, was this always kind of the plan, or did you just figure it out as you went?
Yeah, figure it out as I went. I mean, I remember when I was choosing my major, I was at first I didn't want to study, I didn't want to waste 4 years studying. I said I want to jump right into building something, and then I got convinced into studying. My bachelor's in IT, but my plan was always to have my business.
Mhm. Okay. And thinking back to college, what's maybe a myth about success you believed being a college student, and what was the actual reality?
Well, I mean, one of the myths is you have to work hard, and long hours. Well, you have to work hard, but one of the myths is long hours, right? If I'm working 10 hours, I'm going to be successful. And I think that's a myth because it depends how you work. Of course, you gotta work hard when you start your own business. You gotta put those 10 hours, but you gotta be really intelligent on where to put those 10 hours. That was for me like a myth because a lot of people when I was coming out is yeah, you gotta go out there, put 10 hours, work all night, and that will make you successful. But I don't think that's the reality. I mean, you have people that work 12, 20 hours and are stuck on the same job, and you have people that work 8 hours and have their own company.
Yeah. So, going back, like if you right now, Pedro, could go back to your college self and say one thing, what would that be?
Uh, Start investing sooner. Yeah.
Investing in what specifically?
Anything like I didn't invest when I was in college. I love to travel. I had the opportunity. I mean, my dad had the opportunity to send me and my brother to study abroad and travel, and I had my side hustle to make a few bucks, but I never had that mindset of invest anything. Like if you have $100, $200 right now, stocks, crypto, ETF, anything that you like. But I will have liked to, from younger age, start with that mindset, invest
Yeah.
$100 per month, whatever you have, like whatever cash you have left, just invest it.
hmm So, what was one major obstacle you faced early in your career? Maybe just graduating college a few years after. What was that major obstacle that you had to face? But also, how did you overcome that?
Well, one obstacle was when we were making the IT business. We had to train the consumer. Like they didn't know about what was a cloud business they were using because usually these were small to medium business. They were using Excel, so we had to train them and we had to tell them why it was good and to pay for a software, and that was like an obstacle we had. And
hmm
one big obstacle, well, I mean, this when I was running the plan with the family business plan, we had an accident and the plant was burned like 70%. So that was something that I was in charge at that time. It was like an obstacle to continue going with that plant. I mean, we're growing a lot, and then we had this fire that burned 70% of the plant. So those two things were like the main obstacles I had.
Yeah. So what maybe helped you go, keep going during that time? Was it a mindset shift? Was it, a specific action you had to take? How did you kind of keep going through that time? And how did
You
you,
know,
what helped you specifically?
I think it's a mindset shift, like don't give up. Okay, then I mean, for example, I'll give you the when we got burned, when the factory got burned, that day I got around 200 calls on my cell phone. And I got my team and I told them, look, these are 200 calls that I got. And there were three types of calls. People actually trying to help, like, hey, Pedro, I'm here to help. People just seeing, like, just gossiping to see what happened because it was a huge, huge fire in the city. And
Hmm.
people that you knew that they were kind of like happy, right, that you got burned. And also a lot of competitors were the number one food in that industry were happy. So all those like seeing all those calls, all those people that thought that oh they're gone, they're done. Uh, that gave us a lot of how we shape the mindset of all the company. Like hey, this is not gonna bring us down, right? We're gonna keep going. We already built this company. We're gonna prove everyone. Don't give up. Don't start. There were people crying. Don't. I mean, thankfully we didn't had any injuries, so that was good. But it's the mindset. Keep going. Don't get down. Don't let them knock you out.
Yeah.
And same with sales. Like
I love
for
that.
this
Pretty
company,
much just the not give up. It's very important, Pedro. I like that you brought that up because no matter what students are facing, giving up, is probably the worst thing that they can do. They get to ask themselves, how can I get through this the right way? So I love that. And, you being in many different career fields, was there a big moment or decision that dramatically changed your career path, maybe leading you to become a CEO?
when I wanted to take charge of my life, I was working for the family business, and we are a family of five. There were some uncertainty, like things were not clear, and I had my kids, my daughters that time, and I said, you know what? I want to be like the owner of my life, of my time. I'll step
Yep.
down of the family business, do my business, remote team solutions, and that's what keep me going. I want to be the
Yep.
owner of my time, my life.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you what kind of made you choose that direction, but it was because of your kids, right? You wanted to take control of your time and
Yep.
manage your own schedule, which is definitely a plus. Even myself being a CEO, so I love that. And thinking back to maybe you do know some college students, what do you think is like the biggest challenge students face today?
You know what I've seen, and like I think with my daughters are five and two, but I try to like read books about the workplace for woman, the workplace for God, the difference. And what I've seen right now, I think it's gonna be easier for them to give up and to feel bad because right now, if you have social media, everyone posts everything nice in social media. Like you think everyone is doing great, you think everyone is making sales, you think everyone is happy, everyone is taking
Yeah.
trips, and the reality is not that, right? The reality is like it's hard work, smart work to make a business. So I think their frustration level is gonna be lower because of social media. An example, Kaden, when I started Remote Team Solutions, it took me like 7 months to get our first client. I remember joking with my wife, and she said, "How's it going?" I go, "Well, I'm gonna beat Jeff Bezos. It took him 1 year to sell his first book. It had to
Yeah.
take me less than a year to get a client. It took me 7 months, right?
Yep.
But and now we're the number one staffing company in Mexico. But you got to
That's
start somewhere, and I think frustration level might be a little bit lower right now than it used to be.
awesome. Yeah. I love that because it's so important too, like Pedro, understanding that everybody's version of success is going to be different. So if you're comparing yourself to what you see on social media, you're only seeing the happiness, success, the wins. You're not seeing their challenges, tough times that they might be facing. So I love that you mentioned that. And now we're going to be doing a different type of thing where I'm going to have you pick the question. So you won't know the question until you choose, but I want you, Pedro, to pick a number 1 through 5, and I'm going to let you know what question you selected.
Let's go with number two, Kevin.
Your first job ever, and what did it teach you?
My first job ever, I was working with for my family company. He hired me for a summer. I was like 17,
Yep.
and it was on the IT side. They were changing. They were changing servers.
Mhm.
We had the system was in Cobalt, and they were changing to Visual Basic. And my boss there was this like the CTO. So I was just studying. I remember he told me, the CTO said, Pedro, you need to join this team, and we're gonna use SQL, Visual Basic to do the software. And I told the CTO, you know what? I don't know SQL. I mean, they're gonna teach me that next semester. Well, what do you know? Access, use access.
Yeah.
I worked like for a month, 2 months, came back. When I have my deliverables, he goes like, nah, access won't work for us. I say SQL. And I remember I got so pissed off and I thought, well, I didn't know SQL. Yeah, but there are books. You know how to read. And I
Yeah.
went with my dad, really pissed off, saying that his CTO was. You can imagine how pissed off I was. And my dad just told me, oh, I thought you had more in you than that. So I went there, started reading a lot, and changed everything to SQL. And from that time, I mean, what it learned me is like, I teach it in my company. Is
Yeah.
if you don't know something, read,
Yeah.
learn, become the best. Don't just go straight on. And that helped me a lot. I mean, I was young in there, and now like if I'm gonna do something new, I read a lot before committing to doing something new.
Yeah. That's good because I know earlier, thinking back, Pedro, you said investing in yourself, investing in just in general. But like you were just saying, how you got to just learn. And that's what you should be focusing on as a college student, just graduating to really help you, see that success in your life. So now we're going to do a lightning round of questions. So I'm going to ask you 6 questions, and I want you to answer within 10 to 15 seconds for each question I'm
Oh,
going to ask you. Okay.
perfect.
All right. So the first question is your favorite college class.
Developing IP.
Okay. Your go-to coffee order.
Espresso.
Best book or podcast recommendation?
How to win friends and influence people.
Love that one. Best productivity hack?
Mm. Don't live for tomorrow what you can do today.
Ooh, it's good. Your dream mentor, it could be dead or alive.
I will think Bill Gates.
Okay. And what's something you do every day that helps you stay grounded?
Play with my kids. Play with my daughters.
Yeah. Now we're going to finish up with a couple questions here. What are 3 traits, habits, or skills that helps you go from a student to a CEO, Pedro?
Auto learning. Be able to learn by yourself. That's really important. Also, knowing that you are not the best one at everything.
Hmm.
You might be the best CEO, but you're not the best one at everything. So, getting a great team, listening to your people, and doing everything the best you can. Like if you're
Yeah.
gonna do something, go all in the best way you can until you can put some team members in that activity.
Yeah. And so for students that want to be a leader and want to lead even more, what's one piece of advice that you have for that student?
Invest in themselves, like get coaching, read books, talk with mentors, talk with CEOs. It really is. If you call some CEO or some mentor and you tell him, "Can you please help me with this?" They will help you. Usually CEOs genuinely want to help others grow. So yeah, invest in themselves. Talk to our CEOs, talk to people that they see like this is where I want to be. Let me talk to them. They will
Mhm.
open the door for them.
So if students could only remember 10 seconds of this interview, what should it be?
Invest in themselves and never give up.
Mhm. Yep. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Pedro, and thanks to everyone who's watching. If something resonated with you today, share it with a friend or mentor. These conversations are meant to inspire action. We'll see you next time on this CEO Speaker Series. Thanks again, Pedro.
Thank you, Kaden. Have a good day.